Hey guys, new video here. Very easy mode video on getting a stronghold on the map of your choice. My last video was garbage. I've done it many more times and I can make an easier to follow video for you guys. So you want to get Stronghold, which is this shaper circle right here. When you mouse over, it says shaper stronghold on a map. There are two ways. I'm going to go over the more deterministic, slightly longer way, but more guaranteed way right now. What you are going to do is, number one, you're going to take the map that you want the stronghold on and you are going to completely surround it with Elder Influence, okay? And that will probably include this as Elder Influence as well. So I'm going to use barrels as an example because lots of people want to do barrels, but you can apply this principle to any map. So you want to get Stronghold on here, you're going to surround it completely with Elder Influence, and of course this will mine's already Stronghold, but this will also be Elder Influence, right? And the goal is, when I say surround, I mean all attachments to the map are Elder Influence. So that means the maze, the city square, the fields, the promenade, and now there are some that aren't directly connected but that are Elder Influence, and that the reason for that is because if, like, let's say shaper or the shaper like cut off here or here, it is on one tick, which means like running a map and clearing 60% of the map in one atlas tick. Shaper can push into a map that is connected. So it's almost like you want to get like all the connectors, and then you want to get this kind of shape right here, right? Just complete surround, but you don't have to. So once everything is surrounded, you're going to put a hole in the middle, okay? So imagine that my barrel chambers was also at Elder Influence, so this entire Elder blob here. You would run the map you want a stronghold one time, and that would put a hole in the middle. What it would look like is that this would be a hole. There'd be no influence here, absolutely nothing here. It'd just be a blank hole right here. Once you have the blank hole, by running a map anywhere else on the atlas and initiating an atlas tick, once I'm clearing like about 6% of the mobs, shaper will jump into the hole like this. If it is perfect and you get on the first try, this is exactly what will happen. Shaper jumps into the hole and you get your stronghold. It's a small percentage chance. It took me like, I don't know, 13 tries or something to get this one. It was pretty unlucky. And that's it. Now let's say, because shaper will usually jump in, let's say shaper jumps in here, and now this is shaper influenced and there's no stronghold. What do? You run this map twice. You run the map that you want to stronghold twice. You run it once to clear the shaper stronghold, and then Elder will take over. So this will be a full Elder blob. Once again, keeping in mind, you gotta keep the connectors to the map Elder blob in case something weird happens. And then you're gonna do it again. Just go repeat. That's it. Just repeat over and over. Right? So then when Elder takes over, it's a blob. Put a hole in there. Right? They'll have nothing. It will look exactly like what I have right here, except for that there won't be this. There won't be shaper influence here. The shaper will be like over here, or like over here or something. Right? And then once you have the blob, you put the hole in there. Right? So it'll be empty. And then you run any map somewhere else on the atlas. Right? Kill like most of the mobs in the map, and then shaper will jump into that hole again, and small chance that the stronghold will appear. Caveats: there can only be 2 strongholds on the map, I'm pretty sure. And so if you see that you have 2 strongholds already, I would clear one of them. I cleared both just because, but you need to make sure that you have an available shaper stronghold. Sometimes when you are doing this, instead of shaper jumping in, because Elder is here too, right? Elder can very rarely, I'd say 1 out of every 5 to 10 tries, Elder will cut in, right, instead of shaper. So instead of shaper jumping in, having a chance of this happening right here, shaper stronghold, Elder will jump in. It'll be the blob again, and that's fine, right? It just delays it a little bit. So if Elder jumps in instead of shaper and it's a blob again, once again, keep in mind that it's completely surrounded, you would just do the same thing. Put a hole in the middle, run another map anywhere else, look for the shaper, and then look for the stronghold. Rinse, repeat. Okay? So once again, completely surround the connecting maps with Elder Influence. It will include the map that you're trying to stronghold. Put a hole in the middle by running that map once. Okay? The hole will appear in the middle, and then what you do is when you get the hole in the middle with nothing there, you go run any other map and then Shaper will jump in, chance of Stronghold. Reason for this is because the rules are that Shaper needs to take it over by himself for it to have a chance of a Stronghold. Okay, that is like the deterministic. You can do it over and over. Unless there's some weird stuff going on, like you can do this over and over and over and pretty much guarantee that this happens. When I did it here, it took me 3 hours and 40 minutes. The first time I did it, it took me 8 hours because half the time I was doing emblem carries, so that like broke the time apart. Beaches took me like 10 minutes for some reason. The beaches seem pretty easy. Now, let's talk about the other way, which is called the YOLO method. And the YOLO method is kind of funny because depending on how lucky you are, you can just get it instantly. And that is, the rule is that Shaper has to take over by himself. So for example, what you could do is well, let's say you wanted to get your vault map, right? So all you need to do is have Shaper next to the map you want to stronghold, and have open strongholds available. So like you can't already have 2 strongholds. You can just initiate map ticks. Hey, look at this weird question here. You can initiate map ticks anywhere and just hope that Shaper takes over. If Shaper takes over this map by himself, okay, there's a small chance. There's a small chance that this actually becomes a Shaper stronghold. And likewise, like for example, the Barrow Chambers, because it's like if you let's say you contained Elder in this corner right here, so that Elder was here and here, so you said they both touch. Or I'm sorry, and then Elder was here, and then it also took burials, and then Shaper was like surrounding somewhere. As long as Shaper was on a surrounding map that's touching the burials, there's a chance that when you initiate Atlas Tick, Shaper jumps in and just takes it automatically. That's called the YOLO method, and all it requires, if you're super lazy, you don't want to do the whole in the blob method. All it requires is that Shaper is next to the map you want a stronghold, and you don't have max stronghold, and you initiate tick somewhere else. Okay, that's actually how I got it on my beach twice, and it was like very easy. So you can try that. I would say you start with that if you have an easy like Elder Shaper on or close to the area you already want, but it's a little bit more RNG, right? Because it can like flow all over the place. Things to talk about getting the blob in the area you want. Things I've noticed after doing this many times. Let's say I want to move my blob. For some reason I want to do my beach again, right? I wouldn't completely clear the blob. I'll just move it down. You can actually move from one corner to another. It's very possible. You can move this blob entirely from right here all the way down here, right? You just start flipping tiles down here, and then you can cut off influence, because if Elder has like about 20 or more maps, he might spawn, and that would be bad because then you'd have to clear him. So like you can like shift him down here. Now let's say that you want I don't know, Fungal Hollow to be a stronghold, and your Elder is over here. It's like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? That sucks. You got to completely clear him. So you can start cutting off the tendrils. So like you just do something like here, do something like over here, and just cut off as many pieces as you can, and then just completely delete him. And the rule is, when he's completely deleted off the Atlas, okay, is that he will spawn on the tier that you are running. So if I'm running tier 4s, he can spawn on any tier 4 on the Atlas, right? If I run T15s, T16s, he will initiate an Uber Elder, right? Given that you're at this quest point. So here's another strategy that you can do to get him. So before the stronghold, like the methods I described before, what you can do is you can look at something like this. For example, let's say the tier that you want to do is a tier 2. Okay, now as you can see here, the top 2 corners only have 1 tier 2. Okay, and the bottom 2 corners have 2 tier 2s. So if you're trying to spawn something like on, I don't know, Lookout or Barrows or something like that, you should probably, it'd be much better for you to do a tier 2, right, than a tier 1 to get in a corner, because there's more tier 2s down here than up here. And then similarly, like this is how, wait, what do I do here? All right, so you see this, tier 5, right, to get the Barrow Chambers. If you look at tier 5 to get the Elder on tier 5, there's 3 tier 5s in these corners, right? So it's a 3 out of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1/3 chance that he spawns in this corner. Whereas like if you wanted to get it on Peninsula, you would not run tier 5s, right? Because it's a 1 in 9 chance that he spawns there. And you can kind of do this all the way up. Now, it doesn't have to be on the tier, because as you can see here, now I don't think unique maps actually count, but as you can see here, If you want it on some kind of tier 6 or something like that, there's 3 up here, and it's more than any other. Well, I guess there's 3 down here too, right? But so basically just look at the tiers where you want to spawn. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Because like let's say he spawns on a 3, 4, 5, or 6, you can move him onto the map you want. It doesn't have to be like perfectly starting on the tier map you want. So so just make sure you type in the tier here and see and maximize your chance that he spawns in the corner you want, right? So barrel chambers, I would say, I mean, you can even do tier 3, right? Tier 3, because there's 3 here naturally, so you can spawn him here more likely and then push him into here. What about tier 4? Let's see. It's like even. It's like more weight towards the bottom left, and then tier 5 is like 3 here, 3 here. So it's like you can do like tier 3 or tier 5. It doesn't actually matter, right? But that's a little tip to maximize your chance to initially spawn him. It can actually take a while if you're extremely unlucky. It can be 1 map. If you've ever done Uber Elder, you kind of know this, right? If he's completely gone, it can take 1 map to spawn him, or it can take 15. My worst was like 16. I had to do 16 tier, I think I was doing tier 3s, like 16 tier 3s to get him to spawn in a corner. Like he didn't spawn at all until 16 maps in. I was like, oh my god. But I've also had him spawn after 1. So there's something to think about as well. Once again, make sure that you do not already have like 2 strongholds, and then so if you have one, just like clear it, and it shouldn't actually take you so long. After a lot of testing, I would say that Strongholds is the better choice for me, because I like proccing balls on top of the Beyonds. I run Beyonds a lot, and the extra monsters, and it's like really fun. It's just very beneficial, and it gives you an excuse not to kill the boss in an annoying area like a Barrow Chambers or a let's say like tower or something like that, right? So that's all you gotta do. And also another thing is you can Shaper or Elder before or after, it doesn't matter. For example, if I Elder's Orb this map right now, this doesn't change, it doesn't delete it. If I Shaper's Orb it right now, it doesn't delete it. If it's already Elder's Orb, I remove the Elder's Orb with 20 Chisels and 5 Regrets sold to a vendor with an Unshaping Orb, it would not remove the Shaper. The only way that you can remove a Shaper Stronghold is by killing the boss, okay? Whether on purpose or an accident. Or if someone goes into your map, you're party playing, and someone kills your boss, okay? Be very careful about that. And like Elder it can never just cut this guy off. All right, Shaper is here forever unless I kill Alira in that map. Other things to note is that try to not have your other blob take over 20 plus maps, because then Elder can spawn and you're like a little bit iffy, right? And that's it. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and okay, and I stream every day on Twitch. Bye everyone, thank you so much. Bye.